How's it going, everybody? The PlayStation July savings sale is running from now until July 15th, and there's a ton of absolute bangers on sale for up to 90% off. Every day I put together lists of the top games you can get at a deep discount, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Alright, with that out of the way, that's enough yapping from me, so let's get straight into it. For $3, 90% off, Mortal Shell Enhanced Edition is a punishing action RPG where you navigate a shattered, decaying world, assuming the bodies of fallen warriors to gain their strength while testing your sanity, precision, and resilience. You'll explore haunting ruins, track down hidden sanctums, and adapt to a combat system that rewards patience, awareness, and strategic timing, while every enemy encounter can end in brutal death. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off, Outlast is a tense first-person survival horror set in the remote Colorado mountains where journalist Miles Upshur investigates the long-abandoned Mount Massive Asylum, recently reopened by the secretive and sinister Murkoff Corporation. Navigate dark, claustrophobic corridors, evade grotesque and relentless enemies, and uncover a horrifying conspiracy that blurs science, religion, and human depravity. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $4, 85% off, Devil May Cry 5 plus Virgil is a graphically groundbreaking action-adventure that brings together the series' signature blend of high-octane stylish action and otherworldly characters using Capcom's RE engine to deliver an action masterpiece. Now including Virgil as a fully playable character with his own unique moveset, this newest entry in the legendary series delivers the action experience fans have been waiting for. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 70 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Laika Aged Through Blood is an action-adventure Metroidvania set in a post-apocalyptic western where you play as Laika, a vengeful coyote mother riding a motorbike across a ruined world ruled by the tyrannical birds. The game's unique Motorvania design blends 2D vehicular combat with precise gunplay and ability upgrades, all while you carve through hand-painted environments packed with brutal encounters and platforming challenges. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5, 50% off, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is a retro-style action platformer with pixel-perfect controls and intense stage design where Demon Slayer Zangetsu storms a dark castle to hunt down a powerful demon. You'll swap between multiple playable allies with unique abilities, uncover branching paths through tightly designed stages, and influence difficulty and endings based on who you recruit and how you fight. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $1, 90% off, Super Meat Boy is a brutally difficult precision platformer where you control an animated cube of meat determined to rescue his bandage-wrapped girlfriend from an evil fetus in a jar wearing a tux. Leap across deadly saw blades, scale tight wall jump corridors, and survive hundreds of brutally designed levels while tackling punishing bosses and pushing your reflexes to the limit across hospitals, salt factories, and even hell itself. It's a 90 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 10 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. Good luck with that. For $5, 80% off, Insurmountable is a roguelike adventure where you attempt to scale massive, procedurally generated mountains while battling hunger, exhaustion, and the brutal forces of nature. Each climb features shifting weather, day-night cycles, and hundreds of unpredictable events, as you choose from 3 distinct characters with unique skills and build your abilities through a progression system that makes every decision critical. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, and some broken trophies make the platinum unobtainable. For $4, 80% off, Dragon's Crown Pro is a hand-painted 2D action RPG that brings Vanillaware's stunning fantasy world of Hydaelyn to life with gorgeous art, orchestral music, and exhilarating side-scrolling combat. You'll choose from 6 distinct character classes, each with unique skills, abilities, and equipment, and battle through sprawling, monster-filled dungeons packed with traps and treasure in both solo and cooperative multiplayer. It's an 83 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 90 hours to platinum. For $1, 90% off, Limbo is a minimalist puzzle platformer where a young boy ventures into a dark, eerie world to uncover the fate of his missing sister, facing unknown horrors at every turn. Set in a shadowy, monochromatic landscape filled with subtle visual clues and haunting silhouettes, the game blends environmental storytelling with clever, physics-based puzzles that challenge timing, precision, and observation. It's a 91 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $5, 75% off, Carrion is a reverse horror game where you play as a mysterious, amorphous creature seeking revenge on those who imprisoned you, turning the tables on traditional horror by making you the predator rather than the prey. Stalk, consume, and terrify your captors while growing, mutating, and evolving, unlocking increasingly devastating abilities to wreak havoc and spread fear throughout the sprawling, labyrinthine facility. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off, Aggelos is an action RPG that combines the charm of 16-bit era visuals with the fluidity and depth of modern game design, delivering a nostalgic yet fresh adventure. Set in the peaceful kingdom of Lumen, you'll battle beings from another dimension threatening to overrun the land while uncovering magical elements, solving hidden secrets, completing side quests, and discovering new challenges that expand the story and world. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Death's Door is a stylish, top-down action-adventure where you play as a crow tasked with reaping souls in a haunting, mysterious world where death no longer naturally occurs. When a soul you're assigned to collect is stolen, you'll embark on a perilous journey through strange lands untouched by time, battling bizarre creatures and unraveling a conspiracy that threatens the fragile balance of life and death itself. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $5, 80% off, Killer Frequency is a horror comedy first-person puzzle game set in 1987 where you play a late-night radio DJ running the graveyard shift in a small town and must save callers from a mysterious killer. You'll solve puzzles, explore a fully interactive retro radio station, gather clues, and make real-time decisions through branching dialogues while interacting with eccentric townsfolk, all under the pressure that every call could mean life or death. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $3, 85% off, Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris is an isometric action-adventure that blends fast-paced combat, puzzle solving, and cooperative exploration in an ancient Egyptian setting. Play solo or with up to 3 other players as Lara teams up with rival Carter Bell and the gods Horus and Isis, battling enemies from the Egyptian underworld while navigating trap-filled tombs and cleverly designed environmental puzzles. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 25 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $5, 75% off, Pathfinder Kingmaker Definitive Edition is a choice-driven single-player RPG that lets you explore, conquer, and rule the wild stolen lands of Golarion through deep storytelling and complex party-building systems. Create heroes from hundreds of classes and abilities, recruit 12 companions with unique personalities and quests, and shape your destiny through impactful moral choices, political alliances, and kingdom management. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 10 out of 10, and about 300 hours to platinum. For $2, 90% off, The Dark Eye Memoria is a fantasy point-and-click adventure following a southern princess seeking glory in an ancient war and a birdcatcher trying to lift a curse from his petrified girlfriend centuries later. Through hand-painted locations like the Dragon Temple of Draconia, the story unfolds across 2 timelines with intricate puzzle solving, reality-bending magic mechanics, and narrative switches between Saja and Garen. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $1, 90% off, Pinstripe is a darkly charming adventure where you explore 6 hauntingly beautiful levels of hell, using your slingshot to battle bizarre beasts and uncover the secrets surrounding Teddy and Bo's tragic fate. Sniff out clues with your loyal pet George, interact with eccentric characters, and piece together the world's lore, all brought to life by a creator-composed soundtrack and celebrity voice cameos. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $2, 75% off, Alwa's Awakening is a challenging 8-bit adventure platformer where you explore a large interconnected world to help free the land of Alwa. You solve puzzles, fight enemies, and defeat bosses using your magic staff while navigating vibrant pixel art environments, discovering hidden secrets, and mastering increasingly difficult areas filled with traps, surprises, and cleverly designed challenges in true Metroidvania style. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Paradise Killer is a murder mystery adventure set on an island outside reality, where a rogue civilization seeks to resurrect dead alien gods and wield unimaginable cosmic power. You play as investigator Lady Love Dies, solving the murder of the Council before the island's rebirth, while exploring a bizarre, cryptic world, collecting evidence, interrogating suspects, and piecing together conflicting testimonies to build your own case. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 20% off. Vampire Survivors is an addictive roguelite where you mow down endless hordes of night creatures, auto-attacking as you focus on movement, positioning, and smart upgrade choices to survive until dawn. Each run lets you snowball through clever weapon synergies and permanent meta upgrades, transforming chaotic bullet hell swarms into hypnotic power fantasies packed with unlocks and absurd screen-filling destruction. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $4, 70% off. Everything is a contemplative, AI-driven interactive experience where every object you see, from animals to planets to entire galaxies, can become your perspective and imagination. Travel seamlessly between inner and outer space and experiment with changing forms to create intricate worlds within worlds, or let the universe unfold on its own in a procedurally generated simulation filled with surprises and cosmic interconnectedness. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $4, 70% off. Castle Crashers Remastered is a fast-paced 2D beat-em-up where you battle through colorful kingdoms, rescue princesses, and defeat enemies in a chaotic arcade-style adventure filled with humor and charm. Fight through stages, unlock characters and weapons, and level up your abilities as you play solo or team up in local and online co-op to take on bosses, arenas, and challenging modes across vibrant and varied environments. It's an 83 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off. Cathedral is an action-adventure game where a nameless protagonist wakes in a mysterious world full of secrets, hidden rooms, and dungeons, teaming up with the spirit Soul to face the demigod Ardor. You explore massive handcrafted areas, overcome challenging bosses, and collect upgrades while discovering hidden paths, solving environmental challenges, and experiencing the full breadth of this pixelated world. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $2, 80% off. Lara Croft GO is a turn-based puzzle adventure set in the long-forgotten world, where Lara escapes ancient ruins to unravel the legend of the Queen of Venom. Tackle more than 115 cleverly crafted puzzles across 7 chapters, evade deadly traps and towering enemies through strategic movement, and uncover hidden relics to unlock new outfits, all brought to life with striking diorama-style visuals and an atmospheric soundtrack. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $4, 65% off. Kingdom 80s is a standalone micro-strategy adventure that reinvents the Kingdom formula with an 80s-inspired coming-of-age story, blending neon nostalgia, tactical decision-making, and base building. Recruit kids, assign roles, and expand your settlement using limited coins, while balancing daytime preparation and defensive planning against nightly greed attacks that punish overextension and careless strategy. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $2, 90% off. Inside is a haunting cinematic puzzle platformer that follows a young boy as he's relentlessly hunted through a bleak dystopian landscape and pulled ever deeper into the center of a terrifying secretive experiment. Solve cleverly designed environmental puzzles and uncover disturbing revelations through precise platforming, minimalist storytelling, and an oppressive atmosphere that constantly builds tension. It's a 91 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $5, 75% off. Axiom Verge is a Metroidvania-style action-adventure where you play a scientist trapped in a mysterious alien world, exploring an intricate labyrinth filled with strange technology and eerie environments. You'll discover a wide array of weapons, items, and abilities, battle bizarre biomechanoid enemies, and use glitches to manipulate the environment, defeat foes, and solve inventive puzzles in unexpected and creative ways. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $4, 85% off. Darkest Dungeon is a gothic roguelike turn-based RPG where you recruit and lead a team of flawed heroes through twisted forests, forgotten warrens, and ruined crypts, facing monstrous enemies, famine, disease, and psychological stress. You'll manage your party's fears and afflictions while battling an array of eldritch horrors in a punishing strategic combat system that rewards planning, risk management, and adaptable tactics. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $4, 80% off. Arise, A Simple Story is a heartfelt narrative adventure that guides you through the emotional lives of two people, where memories awaken and time itself bends to your will in an expressive world. You explore beautifully crafted landscapes that shift with the passage of time, reliving moments of love, loss, joy, and sorrow while manipulating seconds, days, and entire seasons to uncover the full story and its hidden emotional nuances. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Guacamelee 2 is a colorful, dimension-hopping Metroidvania where retired luchador Juan Aguacate steps back into the ring to save the collapsing Mexiverse from a hilariously unhinged multiversal threat. You'll explore a lively world inspired by Mexican folklore as you swap dimensions, string together flashy wrestling combos, and tackle tricky platforming challenges across vibrant towns, eerie swamps, and fiery underworld arenas. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Guacamelee 2 is a colorful, dimension-hopping Metroidvania where retired luchador Juan Aguacate steps back into the ring to save the collapsing Mexiverse from a hilariously unhinged multiversal threat. You'll explore a lively world inspired by Mexican folklore as you swap dimensions, string together flashy wrestling combos, and tackle tricky platforming challenges across vibrant towns, eerie swamps, and fiery underworld arenas. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off, Quest 2 is a charming action RPG that expands the world of Felongard with a brand new story, explosive spells, and a playful co-op mechanic that lets you switch between a heroic cat and a loyal dog on an epic adventure. You explore colorful, open environments, tackle dungeons filled with traps, and complete side quests while combining new passive abilities and mastering a variety of weapons and magical attacks. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $5, 80% off, Nobody Wants to Die is a noir-style narrative adventure set in New York 2329, where immortality comes at a cost and the lines between right and wrong blur. Play as Detective James Cara, investigating a serial killer who targets the city's elite, using time manipulation augmentations and advanced technology to reconstruct events and expose dark secrets in a society where death is a distant memory and morality is optional. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Ruiner is a brutal cyberpunk action shooter where a wired sociopath fights to rescue his kidnapped brother and uncover the truth under the guidance of a secretive hacker ally in a high-stakes world. Engage in fast-paced, tactical combat using an arsenal of state-of-the-art gadgets and abilities, from energy shields and reflex boosters to hacking enemies and manipulating the battlefield, as every encounter demands skill and timing. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 90% off, Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments is a gripping detective adventure where you solve 6 thrilling, intricate cases, from murders to spectacular thefts, sometimes venturing into the fantastical. Decide carefully whether to follow your moral compass or strictly enforce the law, using 14 detection skills to investigate, interrogate, and determine suspects' fates, with consequences that shape your reputation and the world. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 85% off, Othercide is a tactical RPG where you command the Daughters, echoes of the greatest warrior and humanity's last hope against relentless, nightmarish manifestations of suffering. You'll carefully and strategically plan battles around the dynamic timeline system, sacrifice one daughter to permanently empower another for future runs, and face grotesque bosses born from humanity's worst crimes in stark black and white arenas. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Tormented Souls is a survival horror adventure that channels the spirit of classics like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Following Carolyn Walker, she investigates the mysterious disappearance of twin girls in a decrepit, decaying mansion filled with nightmarish secrets. You'll explore the eerie halls of Winterlake, solving fiendish puzzles, scavenging scarce resources, and surviving grotesque creatures that stalk every shadowed corridor. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Monster Sanctuary is a Metroidvania adventure where you explore an interconnected world while capturing, training, and battling a diverse roster of 111 unique and powerful monsters with distinct abilities and traits. You'll use their abilities to solve environmental puzzles, traverse tricky platforming sections, and engage in strategic turn-based combat where team composition, attack order, and synergies determine victory. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $4, 80% off, Torchlight 2 is a fast, fun, and loot-filled action RPG set in a quirky world of bloodthirsty monsters, bountiful treasures, and sinister secrets, where you choose from 4 distinct classes with robust skill trees and adventure solo or with up to 4 players online through vast, randomized areas. Pets fight alongside you or venture out to sell your loot while you keep exploring, ensuring fresh layouts and monsters across every run. It's an 88 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 65 hours to platinum. For $5, 80% off, Afterimage is a hand-drawn 2D action-adventure set in the haunting ruins of a shattered fantasy world, where an amnesiac girl named Renee sets out to recover her lost memories and uncover the truth behind a cataclysm. You'll traverse the interconnected world of Endgarden, battling over 170 enemy types and 30 brutal bosses across painterly landscapes, while unlocking new abilities that expand your exploration and combat potential. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Enhanced Edition is an epic RPG where players rise as the mythic hero, battling demons, shaping nations, and exploring a dark, immersive world full of peril. Choose from 25 classes, 12 races, and thousands of spells, feats, and abilities, recruit companions, and face moral dilemmas, uncover secrets, and confront powerful foes while forging your own legendary path through the world wound. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 10 out of 10, and about 350 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham is a family-friendly action-adventure where Batman teams up with DC heroes and villains to travel across the universe and stop the villainous Brainiac from shrinking entire worlds. Switching between a huge roster of heroes and villains, players explore a variety of LEGO-built lantern worlds and use unique powers granted by the Lantern Rings to overcome obstacles and unlock secret areas. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $4, 70% off, Darkwood is an atmospheric survival horror that relies on dread, careful planning, and resource management rather than cheap jump scares, immersing players in a uniquely haunting experience. By day, you explore and scavenge the eerie forests of the Soviet bloc, while at night you hunker down to survive against relentless supernatural forces that stalk the woods, threatening your sanity as you navigate an ever-changing world. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 90% off, Cris Tales is a beautifully hand-drawn indie JRPG that lets you see the past, present, and future simultaneously as you guide Crispell on a sweeping, time-bending adventure. Manipulate time in strategic turn-based battles to age enemies or restore allies instantly, explore vibrant kingdoms inspired by Latin American culture and folklore, and make impactful story choices that visibly reshape towns and characters in real time. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $5, 50% off, Blaster Master 02 is a side-scrolling and top-down hybrid action-adventure where Jason and Eve leave Earth behind to confront a cosmic threat and save Eve from a corrupting parasite. You'll pilot the upgraded Gaia Sophia battle tank across diverse alien planets, strategically generating SP from impacts and terrain, while unleashing the new blast counter to turn enemy attacks into devastating opportunities. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $2, 85% off, Biped is a cooperative action-adventure where you control 2 adorable bipedal robots, navigating puzzles and challenges with precise coordination, clever movement, and engaging teamwork. Use dual-stick controls to walk, operate machinery, and solve environmental puzzles, either solo or alongside a friend in fun, moment-to-moment cooperative gameplay that tests your teamwork, reflexes, and problem-solving skills. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 80% off, Curse of the Dead Gods is a brutal, skill-based action roguelike where you descend into a cursed temple in search of riches, power, and immortality. Fight through trap-filled corridors and deadly arenas, wield swords, spears, and firearms against relentless enemies and towering bosses, and manage a corruption system where powerful curses can either strengthen your build or suddenly twist your fate in devastating ways. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $2, 90% off, This War of Mine, The Little Ones is a gritty survival experience that follows a group of civilians, including children, struggling to endure life in a war-torn city. Manage scarce resources and craft essential supplies like beds and stoves, make devastating life-or-death decisions under constant threat, and protect vulnerable young survivors whose needs and perspectives dramatically reshape how you approach each desperate day. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 70% off, Shady Part of Me is an emotional puzzle platformer where you navigate surreal dreamscapes as a little girl in her shadow, blending 2D and 3D gameplay with introspective storytelling. Work together to overcome emotional struggles, manipulate light and shadows, and use time-rewinding abilities to solve contemplative puzzles, while exploring unique watercolor-inspired environments filled with twists, surprises, and poetic charm. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $5, 50% off, Blaster Master Zero is a retro-inspired side-scrolling and top-down action-adventure that reimagines the 1988 classic with brand new areas, challenging bosses, and expanded story content. Pilot the battle tank Sophia 3 through sprawling side-view stages, explore tight top-down mutant-filled dungeons as Jason, and unlock sub-weapons and upgrades that open new paths and enhance both characters' abilities. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $2, 85% off, Red Faction 2 is a futuristic first-person shooter set on 22nd century Earth, where a squad of nanotech-enhanced soldiers rises against a corrupt dictator. You'll play as Elias, utilize powerful explosives, command a specialized squad, and battle through urban war zones, fortified military strongholds, and treacherous environments using vehicles and heavy weaponry to topple Chancellor Sopot's oppressive regime. It's an 84 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $3, 80% off, Arrow is a fast-paced music rhythm game where you speed through stunning, stylized environments, tracing ribbons of light in time with the music, battling strange enemies and fighting epic boss battles driven entirely by an incredible licensed soundtrack. Featuring tracks from Noisia, Flux Pavilion, KDB, The Prototypes, Neo Signal, and many more, it's a unique and innovative experience from indie micro studio Mad Fellows. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $3, 30% off, Rotato is a frantic top-down arena shooter roguelite where you play a potato armed with up to 6 weapons at once, battling relentless waves of aliens while awaiting rescue. You'll customize your runs with dozens of characters, hundreds of items and weapons, from flamethrowers and SMGs to rocket launchers and even sticks and stones, and craft overpowered unique builds by selecting traits and upgrades that suit your playstyle. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $2, 90% off, The Dark Eye Chains of Satnav is a point-and-click adventure following Garen, a young bird catcher tasked with investigating a mysterious plague of aggressive crows threatening the kingdom of Andergast. Players explore the richly detailed world of Aventuria, solving intricate puzzles, interacting with memorable characters, and experiencing a narrative crafted by the authors of the renowned pen and paper RPG The Dark Eye. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $5, 86% off, the Turrican Anthology Volume 1 celebrates the beloved fast-paced Turrican series alongside Chris Hulsbeck's iconic soundtrack, bundling 5 classics, Turrican and Turrican 2 from Amiga, Super Turrican and its Director's Cut from SNES, and Mega Turrican Score Attack from Genesis, with expanded stages, enhanced score attack modes, rewind support, multiple soundtracks, concept art, and unlockable cheats. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $5, 86% off, the Turrican Anthology Volume 2 continues the legendary series alongside Chris Hulsbeck's iconic soundtrack, bundling 5 classics, Turrican 3 from the Amiga, Mega Turrican and its Director's Cut from Genesis, Super Turrican 2, and Super Turrican Score Attack from SNES, with expanded levels and secret stages. Features include toggleable maps, rewind, multiple soundtracks, unlockable cheats, and never-before-seen concept art. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $4, 85% off, OlliOlli World Rad Edition is a vibrant skateboarding action platformer where you cruise through the eccentric and colorful land of Radlandia, meeting quirky locals, grinding rails, and pulling off tricks as you seek the mystical skate gods on your quest for Nirvana. The Rad Edition includes the Void Riders and Finding the Flow Zone story expansions, adding new biomes, levels, characters, and customization options. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $2, 90% off, Gordian Quest is a sprawling deck-building RPG where you lead parties of 3 heroes through a cursed world teeming with darkness, treasure, and ever deadlier foes. Across 4 campaign acts and multiple modes, including the fast-paced roguelite realm mode and the endlessly replayable adventure mode, you'll explore procedurally generated maps, dive into fathomless dungeons, and tackle unpredictable events that test your strategy. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off. Alwa's Legacy is a modern retro adventure game filled with dangerous dungeons, mystic items, and ancient secrets, letting you upgrade your magic, choose your own path, and explore a richly detailed world brimming with puzzles. With a clever upgrade system for customized playstyles, crisp pixel art visuals, and challenging roams that test your reflexes, it delivers a non-linear experience full of strategy and discovery. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 80% off. Dex is a 2D action RPG set in a sprawling cyberpunk city, where you fight, hack, and navigate a dangerous underworld while evading a mysterious tentacular organization and deadly adversaries. You traverse Harbor Prime making allies, choosing your approach as a silent assassin, hacker, diplomat, or gunfighter, with real-time combat, interactive dialogue, and a mature storyline that rewards exploration and strategic thinking. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 80% off. Tin Hearts is a Lemmings-inspired narrative puzzle adventure from former Fable developers, where you guide tin soldiers through over 50 puzzles across a grand Victorian home while reliving the poignant story of genius inventor Albert J. Butterworth through memories, photographs, and letters. Unlock whimsical inventions like toy cannons and balloon machines, control time to change outcomes, and experience the adventure in VR or flat play. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $1, 90% off. Bridge Constructor Portal is a physics-based puzzle game that combines the mind-bending mechanics of Portal with the engineering challenges of Bridge Constructor. Build bridges, ramps, slides, and more across 60 test chambers to safely guide the bendies in their vehicles, using portals, propulsion and repulsion gels, aerial faith plates, cubes, and other gadgets to bypass turrets, lasers, acid pools, and tricky switch puzzles. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off. Lovecraft's Untold Stories is a dark action roguelite where you choose from 5 heroes, detective, thief, professor, witch, or ghoul, and battle monsters from the Cthulhu mythos across randomly generated levels inspired by Lovecraft's haunting tales. Collect weapons and artifacts, manage your sanity, and confront the Great Old Ones across hospitals, jungles, and the eerie town of Innsmouth. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $5, 80% off. Spelunker HD Deluxe is a full remake of the legendary classic, sending you into a treacherous cave full of creatures, nasty traps, and hidden treasure where the slightest mistake means failure. Use bombs, flashes, and fans to survive across adventure, competition, championship, and endless infinite cave Neo modes, with beautiful 3D graphics, a nostalgic 8-bit mode, and online or offline co-op. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $3, 80% off. The Coma 2 Vicious Sisters is an atmospheric, story-driven survival horror game where student Mina Park awakens in a dark, twisted version of her school, pursued by a sinister figure resembling her teacher. Venture beyond the school and into the warped Sewa district, encountering strange creatures, mysterious strangers, and uneasy allies while solving puzzles, discovering clues, and fighting to survive. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off. Male Mole is a charming 3D platformer where you play as Molty, a heroic male mole racing through underground tunnels, climbing walls, and soaring the skies across 30 inventive levels to deliver the most important mail in all of Carrotland. Explore vibrant hubs, meet villagers, customize Molty with hats and jetpacks, compete in time attacks against mech rivals, and uncover secrets in an adventure full of charm and challenge. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off. Inertial Drift is a retro-futuristic, 90s-inspired arcade racer that reinvents drifting with its groundbreaking twin-stick control system, giving players unparalleled precision and flow. Every car offers a completely different handling system, encouraging mastery as you take on tight mountain passes, sweeping highways, and neon-soaked cityscapes across a variety of modes including story-driven races, arcade challenges, and competitive play. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $1, 85% off. Teslagrad Remastered is a non-linear puzzle platformer set in the steampunk kingdom of Electropia, where a young boy flees a tyrant king through the Tesla Tower, mastering the lost art of Teslamancy to manipulate electromagnetism and solve intricate puzzles. This remaster adds updated graphics, 10 new levels, refined audio, and additional secrets across beautifully hand-drawn environments filled with lore and cleverly designed traps. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $3, 50% off, Myst is a classic point-and-click adventure that transports you to the enigmatic island of Myst, where ancient betrayal, hidden secrets, and mysterious puzzles await discovery. You'll explore surreal landscapes, solve intricate puzzles, and uncover secret books that lead to breathtaking worlds created by a master storyteller, all while piecing together the mystery behind the treacherous actions of his sons and the fate of the island itself. It's an 82 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Postal Brain Damaged is a chaotic first-person shooter diving into the twisted psyche of the postal dude, delivering fast-paced, over-the-top action across nightmarish, handcrafted levels. Blast through bizarre enemies and monstrous bosses with a wild arsenal of unconventional weapons, explore surreal environments, and uncover secrets while experiencing the dark, irreverent humor the series is known for. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 70% off, Cook Serve Delicious 2 is the massive sequel to the beloved original, putting you in control of building your restaurant from a roach-infested eatery to a world-class Platinum Star experience across 400 levels spanning 33 restaurants. Design your space with over 1,200 unlockable objects, cook a huge variety of foods solo or in local split-screen co-op, and tackle adjustable difficulty from casual to insanely demanding. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Little Big Workshop is a charming factory tycoon game where you manage a tiny tabletop workshop, organizing production lines, purchasing machinery, and directing cute workers to build over 50 unique products, from rubber ducks to electric guitars, for demanding clients. Expand your desk-filling factory, unlock new machines and production methods, and grow your business in an open-ended sandbox where no two factories ever look the same. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Sword Ship is a high-octane, futuristic dodge-em-up roguelike where you pilot a nimble ship through waves of enemies, turning their attacks against them with split-second maneuvers. Navigate randomly generated underwater levels, master shifting dynamic weather conditions, and experiment with power-up components while balancing risk and reward to maximize your score and survival. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $5, 75% off, Aka Ara is Jeff Minter's modern take on an incredibly rare Atari arcade prototype, combining a psychedelic wave shooter with cascading color, shapes, and sound as you blast swarms of attackers and zoom into close-range combat to defend your perimeter. Create massive chains of enemy explosions, build combos, protect your rings, and battle through 50 unique levels in pure arcade bliss where high scores and survival are your only goals. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, and there's a broken trophy making the platinum unobtainable. For $1, 90% off, Time Loader is a story-driven puzzle platformer where players control a tiny robot traveling back to the 1990s to prevent a tragic accident and uncover the consequences of altering the past. Players explore the creator's house, solve brain-teasing puzzles, and acquire unique upgrades, while navigating subverted perspectives, interacting with familiar objects in new ways, and influencing a dynamic, branching narrative. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 75% off, Abathor is a fast-paced 2D platformer with roguelite elements set in a doomed Atlantis, where heroes battle through over 50 stages of ferocious demons, primordial gods, and relentless traps inspired by Plato's writings. Play solo or with up to 4 players in local co-op, mixing cooperation and competition as you dodge hazards, descend into dark abysses, and scramble for treasure in elaborate pixel art with over 40 epic soundtrack tracks. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $4, 70% off, Robo-Dunk is a roguelike combat dunk ball game where robots soar for sky-high dunks, tackle opponents, and wield explosive weapons like lasers and shock rings in chaotic matches that change every run. Choose paths through randomized arenas, unlock new bots and upgrades, and navigate hazards like spiky rollers and meteors solo or in local co-op as you uncover the quirky lore about the meaning of dunk. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $5, 80% off, Deliver Us the Moon is a sci-fi thriller where a lone astronaut is sent to a silent lunar colony to save humanity after Earth's resources run critically dry. Explore vast moonscapes, solve clever puzzles, drive vehicles, and navigate claustrophobic and dangerous environments in both first and third-person gameplay, uncovering the colony's dark secrets through anti-gravity sequences and a haunting orchestral soundtrack. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $3, 80% off. Bad North is a deceptively charming yet punishing real-time tactics roguelite where you defend your island kingdom from relentless Viking invaders, guiding your people across uniquely shaped islands. Command your soldiers, utilize the terrain, and make split-second tactical decisions in procedurally generated maps, blending simple controls with deep, dynamic combat that rewards careful strategy. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 25 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $2, 60% off. Wrecked High Octane Stunts is a stunt driving game inspired by classics like Rush and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, where you perform aerial flips, barrel rolls, loops, grinds, and drifts across various arenas to chase high scores and climb global leaderboards. Take on infinite challenges in solo modes, unlock cars and customizations, and battle up to 3 friends locally in competitive modes including Score, Virus, Checkpoint, and Capture the Crown. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off. Blast Brigade vs. the Evil Legion of Dr. Creed is a 2D Metroidvania where you switch between 4 playable heroes on the fly to explore a huge interconnected island world spanning jungle villages, cliffside prisons, volcanoes, and ancient temples. Unleash abilities like a grenade launcher, grappling hook, and chakram teleporter, and face off against giant robots and cyborg ninjas in an action-packed campaign to stop Dr. Creed. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5, 80% off. Hell Pie is a hilariously obscene 3D platformer where you play Nate, the demon of bad taste, gathering grotesque ingredients for Satan's birthday pie while swinging Chained Angel Companion Nugget as a weapon and grappling hook across 4 massive chaotic worlds. Unlock hellish abilities through collectible horns, customize with outrageous outfits, and meet disgusting characters in this uniquely twisted mascot platformer. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off. Rad is a 3D action roguelike set in a post-apocalyptic world where humanity has already survived 2 separate Armageddons. Play as a teenage survivor venturing into the ever-changing radioactive fallow, battling grotesque creatures, exploring procedurally generated wastelands, and uncovering secrets, hidden caches, and dangerous mutated environments filled with traps, hazards, and unpredictable encounters. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $3, 80% off. Pressure Overdrive is a top-down steam buggy shooter where you join La Resistance to stop the villainous Count Soap from powering his Uber spa with stolen water, racing, ramming, and blasting through over 30 levels across 3 worlds of bullet-filled chaos. Customize your buggy with over 35 upgrades, tackle boss fights in endless mode, and bring a friend along in local co-op to a funky steampunk soundtrack. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $2, 85% off. Red Faction drops you into the chaos of a full-blown rebellion on Mars, where the Ultor Corporation's promise of prosperity is given way to brutality and desperation. As a miner pushed past the breaking point, you'll ignite an uprising that changed first-person shooters forever, using the revolutionary geomod technology to reshape the battlefield by blasting through walls, tunnels, and enemy strongholds across the planet's surface. It's an 88 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $3, 80% off. Rigid Force Redux is a stunning side-scrolling shoot-'em-up with lovingly handcrafted 3D models, detailed effects, and an electrifying synthwave soundtrack where you arm your fighter with upgradable weapon systems and force shards to battle massive enemy swarms, heavy gunships, laser mechs, and giant alien bosses. A full main mission, arcade mode, and boss rush await alongside global leaderboards. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $3, 90% off. In Sound Mind is a first-person psychological horror where you navigate a mysterious building, uncover the fate of chemical-exposed victims, and confront bizarre, nightmarish visions and disturbing phenomena. You'll solve frenetic puzzles, face unique and challenging boss fights, and explore unsettling memories while experiencing a darkly witty story, eerie soundtrack, and unexpected companions, including a cat named Tonya. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $5, 75% off, Trifox is a colorful action-adventure where players control a talented fox on a mission to recover a stolen TV remote and defeat mysterious looters across vibrant, danger-filled environments. Players choose from 3 classes, Warrior, Mage, or Engineer, or mix abilities, unlocking 30 skills while battling enemies, solving puzzles, collecting coins, and navigating 4 perilous worlds toward a final showdown at Villain HQ. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $3, 85% off, Teslagrad 2 is a beautifully hand-painted puzzle platformer following Lumina, a young Teslamancer stranded in rugged Wormheim, where she explores a vast abandoned tower wielding electromagnetic powers to outsmart Viking raiders and defeat bosses inspired by Nordic mythology. Curved magnet mechanics, fluid abilities, a text-free narrative, and an orchestral Nordic soundtrack deliver a fresh expansion on the beloved original. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $2, 80% off, The Forest Quartet is a serene 3D narrative puzzler where you embody the spirit of a departed lead singer, guiding her through 3 emotional acts to deliver a final concert to her grieving bandmates. Use your voice to restore corrupted forests, manipulate water and fire, and transform into butterflies, all carried by a dynamically layered jazz soundtrack and wordless storytelling that meditates on loss in music. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 5 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $4, 80% off, Machinarium is an award-winning point-and-click adventure where you play as Joseph, a small robot navigating the beautifully hand-drawn city of Machinarium to rescue his girlfriend Berta from the clutches of the villainous Black Cat Brotherhood gang. Explore intricate environments, solve dozens of clever and inventive puzzles, and lose yourself in one of the most visually stunning and charming adventure games ever made. It's an 84 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $2, 80% off, Seasons After Fall is a 2D puzzle platformer that lets you explore a magical world as a wild fox, using the power to change the seasons at will to manipulate the environment and solve intricate puzzles. Shift between winter, spring, summer, and autumn to unlock new paths, freeze waterfalls, raise water levels, or make plants grow, while navigating a gorgeous hand-painted 2D landscape filled with secrets and hidden lore. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 80% off, Figment is a musical action-adventure set within the surreal landscape of the human mind, where grumpy former voice of courage Dusty and his ever-optimistic friend Piper must venture through its deepest thoughts and memories to beat back nightmarish creatures spreading fear throughout. Solve puzzles, restore lost courage, and face the mind's fears across a beautifully imaginative world full of whimsical charm and musical flair. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $4, 80% off, Tools Up is a fast-paced couch co-op party game where you and up to 3 friends tackle zany, increasingly ridiculous home renovation projects together. Race against the clock as you paint walls, tear off wallpaper, follow blueprints, and navigate hazards like spilled paint, molten lava, falling furniture, moving obstacles, or tricky environmental challenges, all while coordinating or deliberately sabotaging your crew's efforts. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $1, 90% off, Felix the Reaper is a charming puzzle game where lovesick Ministry of Death employee Felix manipulates sunlight and moving objects to create shadow paths he can traverse, solving elaborate death scenarios in a human world to one day meet his beloved Betty from the Ministry of Life. Groove to over 10 indie artists on Felix's Walkman, tackle original puzzle mechanics, and unlock bonus time trials in this gruesomely sweet story. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $2, 90% off, Arkanoid Eternal Battle is a modernized arcade block breaker where you control the Voss ship to destroy space walls and defeat Doe across a reimagined interdimensional maze. You'll bounce energy balls to clear levels, use power-ups and abilities, and compete in modes like Retro, Neo, and a 25-player online battle royale with leaderboards and escalating difficulty that adds chaotic multiplayer competition. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 10 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $2, 90% off, Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Ultimate is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with fighting game depth, rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5 for smoother gameplay and flashier special attacks, following 4 girls hunting the mysterious Phantom to rescue a kidnapped sister. Play as heroes or powerful enemies, team up in local co-op or online with up to 8 cross-platform players, and choose between a remastered J-Rock soundtrack or classic versions. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For For $2, 80% off, Planet Alpha is a visually striking atmospheric adventure set on a mysterious alien world where you awaken stranded, alone, and relentlessly pursued by enemies. Harness the unique power to manipulate the cycle of day and night, using it strategically to solve puzzles, overcome environmental hazards, and evade deadly threats while experimenting with creative movement, stealth, and precise timing across varied terrains. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $4, 70% off, Hyper Jam is a neon-soaked arena brawler with a dynamic perk drafting system where players choose stackable perks after every round, creating wildly different builds across katanas, rocket launchers, and sledgehammers in furious combat. Compete locally or online with cross-platform matchmaking, practice against AI bots, and keep your heart racing to a synthwave soundtrack featuring Carpenter Brute and Dance with the Dead. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $1, 90% off, Wildcat Gun Machine is a bullet-hell dungeon crawler where you take on hordes of disgusting flesh beasts with over 40 gun types, giant mech robots, and cute kittens across maze-like dungeons with handcrafted, non-randomized combat puzzles. Mow through demonic elder gods using super abilities, unique gun features like auto-aim bullets and exploding rounds, and character upgrades tailored to your playstyle. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. Alright, that's it for today's list, everybody. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sale stuff that I put out, leave a like, and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.